hate you. I was trying to be nice. I tried to be
I know everything. I know about all the Plan B pills you had to take. You want me to show them? I'll show them everything. You sure you want that?
Nick Galante didn't intend to become a viral internet figure. As a New Jersey firefighter and arson investigator, his life was mostly grounded in community service and emergency response, not the chaotic whirlwind of online controversy. But everything changed during what was supposed to be a joyous milestone, his 40th birthday party. The night ended not with cake and laughter, but with gasps and dropped jaws as Nick did something almost unimaginable. He used the occasion to publicly accuse his wife Samantha of infidelity in front of their friends and family. It started like any heartfelt toast might. Nick stood in front of the gathered guests with a microphone in hand, ready to speak. But instead of thanking his wife for planning the party or celebrating life's blessings, he slowly and deliberately pulled the rug out from under everyone. With a surprisingly composed tone, he announced that his wife had been unfaithful to him. The room reportedly fell silent. Some guests thought it was a joke. Others began recording as Nick laid out his claims, referencing intimate photos, screenshots, and undeniable evidence he said he had gathered over time. He said he wanted to make it public because he had been humiliated privately for long enough. His voice didn't shake. There were no tears, just controlled fury, channeled into a speech that left the audience frozen in disbelief. "I wanted all of you to know what she did," he declared, staring directly at his wife. Samantha, blindsided and unable to leave the scene without escalating the chaos, stood motionless as the room dissolved into stunned whispers. By the next morning, clips from the party were circulating on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Social media platforms fed the frenzy. Reactions ranged from outright support, calling Nick a hero for standing up for himself, to condemnation, accusing him of creating public spectacle out of private matters. The video became a cultural Rorschach test, reflecting viewers' own beliefs about marriage, betrayal, masculinity, and revenge. People dissected every angle of the event: how Nick spoke, how Samantha looked, whether the evidence was real, and even who among the guests looked the most shocked. The party, which might have otherwise faded into memory like any other celebration, had become a historic moment in the digital soap opera that is the internet. Within days, Nick Galante and Birthday Breakup were trending. Meme accounts posted remixes. Commentary channels analyzed the footage like it was a presidential debate. For some, it was entertainment. For others, it was a grim look at how messy real life can be. But beyond the viral moment, the story carried layers of emotional complexity. Nick later explained his actions in follow-up videos and posts. According to him, this wasn't an impulsive outburst. It was a breaking point. He claimed to have known about the affair for weeks, maybe months. He'd confronted Samantha in private, only to be met with denial or half-truths. He kept the information to himself to protect their children and avoid embarrassment. But as the emotional toll mounted and the lies continued, he decided that silence was no longer an option. He chose his birthday party because he felt it was poetic justice, an event Samantha helped plan, meant to honor him, turned into the perfect stage for exposing what he saw as the ultimate betrayal. The decision was, by all accounts, intentional. It wasn't just about revenge. It was, as Nick put it, about taking control of his narrative. In her own response, Samantha issued a statement through social media, suggesting that much of the story was being twisted by the internet. She acknowledged that they were going through a difficult time and admitted that mistakes had been made in the marriage. But she didn't directly address the affair claims. Instead, she expressed heartbreak over how public things had become, saying the virality of the incident had hurt, not just her but their children and extended families. She urged people to stop speculating and spreading rumors and said they were trying to work things out privately. This statement only fueled the fire. Comment sections exploded with polarized reactions. Some accused her of gaslighting. Others saw her as a victim of public shaming and cyberbullying. In many ways, Samantha became the internet's latest symbol of either betrayal or victimhood, depending on who you asked. It wasn't just about one couple anymore. It had become a morality play for millions of online spectators. Professionally, Nick remained with the Belleville Fire Department, where he had served for years and earned the rank of captain. Colleagues. according to local reports, were shocked by the publicity but supportive. The fire department did not issue any formal statement, likely aiming to avoid inflaming an already sensational situation. On LinkedIn, Nick's profile lists his long service record and his role as an arson investigator. To some, this juxtaposition, an experienced, disciplined public servant engaging in a very public emotional confrontation, added to the story's intrigue. The scandal also raised deeper questions about relationships and the digital age. Is it ever acceptable to expose infidelity publicly? Does a betrayal behind closed doors justify a spectacle in front of an audience? These are difficult questions, and the Galante story became the battleground on which they were debated. Some psychologists weighed in, noting that public shaming can sometimes feel like justice for the betrayed, but can also create long-term trauma, especially when children are involved. Others argued that in an age where everything is filmed, curated, and shared, perhaps Nick's actions were just a modern evolution of an age-old reaction. Heartbreak demanding a witness. Cultural commentators compared the situation to celebrity cheating scandals, but with a raw, more relatable edge. Nick wasn't a millionaire pop star or a reality TV villain. He was a working-class man with a steady job and a family. His story hit closer to home for many viewers. The pain in his voice felt authentic. The betrayal was something many had, either experienced or feared. That's partly why the video resonated so deeply, and why it caused such division. In the weeks following the event, content creators cashed in on the drama. Some created parody videos reenacting the scene. Others offered detailed analysis, even using AI to enhance the original footage or read between the lines of facial expressions. It became part of the attention economy, and in that sense, both Nick and Samantha were swept into a much larger machine, one that doesn't stop spinning just because you're hurting. Friends of the couple were reportedly divided as well. Some sided with Nick, claiming they had suspected something was off in the marriage. Others felt he should have handled things privately, or that airing such dirty laundry was beneath him. A few insiders shared anonymously that the marriage had been struggling for a while. There were whispers of therapy, separation talks, and emotional distance long before the birthday ambush. As time went on, public interest slowly began to wane. The next scandal, the next viral video, the next meme rolled in, and the internet moved on. But for Nick and Samantha, the fallout remained. They were left to pick up the pieces of a relationship and a family, now burdened not just by betrayal, but by infamy. It's unclear whether they stayed together, separated formally, or entered counseling. The couple chose not to share further updates, likely hoping to escape the public microscope. Perhaps the biggest twist in the entire ordeal was that there was no twist, just silence. No dramatic divorce announcement, no reconciliation post, no reality show deal. Just two people, now infamous, trying to reclaim privacy after inviting the world into their most painful moment. And maybe that's the lesson hidden beneath the spectacle. In a time when our phones can record everything, when heartbreak can go viral, and when private emotions are turned into public entertainment, the real cost isn't measured in likes or shares. It's measured in the quiet aftermath, the awkward school runs, the therapy sessions, the family dinners where no one knows what to say. Nick Galante's story captured the internet's attention for a moment, but for him and Samantha, it wasn't just a moment. It was a turning point. Whether you see Nick's actions as justified or misguided, one thing is clear. He forced the world to witness his pain. And in doing so, he sparked a conversation we still haven't quite finished. About love, betrayal, justice, and how much of ourselves we're willing to put on display. Not for applause, not for revenge, but maybe, just maybe, for closure.